The following is a pre-recorded interview that I.
And Ron, we're really pleased to have a man and his wife who's meant so much to you and your fitness life. Of course, Jack La Lanne and his lovely wife Elaine. If you could start the introductions and start the interview, we'd love to hear from him.
Jack,
how are you doing?
I'm doing well. This is a dream come true. As I've spoken with your wife Elaine a couple of times, and I told her this is a dream come true because everything that I've done in fitness I owe to you. And they call me the fitness king of Minneapolis, but there's really only one king, and that's Jack La Lanne.
Let me tell you, I didn't do anything. You did it. I might have put the pea in your bonnet, but you did the work.
Yes, you did, because I was born in 19...
Put the food in your mouth. Who goes to the bathroom? You. There's only one you, boy.
Well, Jack, I was born in 1954, and I think you started your first show, and I think in 1950?
51, yeah. 51. We're on 34 years.
That's right. And
I started in television in 1948.
Oh, yes.
Wow. And had the first health and fitness show ever in the history.
Right, and from 6
We're still here. I practice what I preach. And Jack La Lanne cannot afford to die.
That's right. And Jack, from 6 on, I never missed a show. I know I've seen every one of your shows.
Isn't that wonderful?
It is. It is.
I'm very flattered.
No wonder you're the Fitness King. Well, we have a product that we call the Fitness King. Jack designed in 1965, and it was called the Fitness King, and that
was a piece of equipment. That was great.
Yeah, he designed it. He's the first one that designed the leg extension machine, the pulling machines, the weight selectors, and he did
this was way back in 1933.
Wow.
I had my first gym.
That's right. And Jack,
33.
And people, for myself, when I was born just a few years before Ron, we always think of you as being this ultimate guru of fitness, but it didn't start that way for you. You had issues as a child, a lot of issues as a child that prompted you to change your lifestyle. And given what's going on in today's culture with childhood obesity, your voice is more relevant today than ever before.
Yeah, he's going to be 93 September 26th.
I'm going to be 93.
Listen to you.
I don't think of age. I don't think of dying. I put my energy into living.
There you go.
Dying is easy. Living is a pain in the backside. You got to work at it.
That's right. And
to live, you've got to eat right. You have to have goals and challenges. Exercise is king. Nutrition's queen. Put them together, you got a kingdom.
That's right. I agree with you. I was telling a friend of mine, I was reading so much information on you that I thought my eyes were getting a fitness work,out. Because, Jack, the information on you, there is so much on you.
It's amazing.
I mean, I can't even fathom it,
If you lived that long, you'd have that much, too.
Elaine and I have one thing in our mind, to help people to help themselves. I've never thought about making money. How can I help that old person, that young kid, that businessman? How can I help them to have a better life? I want to get them to start eating right. I just bought a new Corvette sports car.
Mm-hmm.
But I put water in the gas tank.
That's right. No.
Don't run, would it?
No.
How about the human machine? You put in cake, pies, candy, ice cream, soda pop, all that stuff, and people wonder why they're sick and tired. Did you ever read the label on some of this canned food?
Oh, yes.
You can't even pronounce the name. You got artificial coloring and flavorings, and they add this and they add that, and they cook it and kill it, and and you put that in your body, and you wonder why people are sick and tired and why they're fat. Remember, the food you eat today, you're wearing it tomorrow.
That's right, Jack, and that's why, Jack, that's why I love you as a person, because a lot of the stuff that you talk about, I share the same belief systems. One of the things that I say is people they're spending with their body. It's like they're writing a check with their body that they can't afford to cash. In other words, if something does happen to them and they have to make a physical withdrawal, Jack, they can't do it because they haven't prepared their body. They don't exercise. They don't eat right. And
you sound like a young Jack La Lanne, Ron.
Well,
I saw your YouTube bit that you sent us. So now, and you, as I say, you've got that enthusiasm like Jack.
Well, and I have the belief system. I feel exactly like Jack does, and everybody knows this. I would be willing to train a person for free just to help them. I love your passion because that's what I have, and I'm not sure why I have it, but I know initially that I got my start and I got my motivation, and I will tell anybody, I give credit to where credit is due. You were the person that I first saw in fitness that motivated me, and I was watching your wife.
This, you're making me, I'm going to be conceited.
Well, you got a right to be. You know, I was watching
I'm trying to be humble.
I was watching your wife on an old clip with you the other day. Elaine, you look good, and you still look good, Elaine.
Well, thank you very much.
And her energy, Jack, your wife's energy. I mean, you're in
Let me
shape.
tell you, boy, and I have to live with that.
We don't know who's got the most energy, Jack or I.
And Elaine, you
We're
have
the Energizer Bunny.
When I first started going with Jack, they said, "Oh, you'll never last." I said, "No, you're wrong." I said, "I'll have more energy than Jack."
and Elaine,
Won't wear me down.
you have some Twin City background here. Tell the folks
Yes,
listening this morning.
I was born in
Wow.
Fairview Hospital,
Oh.
and I love Minneapolis, and I love all the lakes, and I love all the. I mean, there's nothing like your roots. And I went to Bryant Junior High School. I went to Lyndale Bryant Junior High, and then I went to Central High, and then the University of Minnesota. And then I came out to California in 1945, and I've been here ever since.
Right during the war, actually, and then you met.
Hallelujah, you made the move.
I came out just before the war ended.
Yeah.
During the war.
I
right.
tell everybody, Elaine's the power underneath my muscles.
That's right. And you need
Out
to
there, my big nothing.
say, Jack.
But we're a team.
How did you and Elaine meet, Jack?
I won't tell you that.
No. Well, I was on television in San Francisco. I started in 1948 there, and then this is when television first started. And then I was with a fellow by the name of Les Malloy, and we had an hour-and-a-half show every day with a 12-piece orchestra left over from radio. And we had interviews. We had all the stars that would come to town. And I got a call from Oakland, California one day, and they said, "We got this guy over here who can do push-ups for your whole show." I thought, "Oh, that's a great idea." So Jack came over and did push-ups for the whole show, an hour and a half of push-ups, and it never stopped. And then a week later, he was on the Art Baker You Asked For show, a national show, and he did 1,033 push-ups.
The world's record in push-ups.
Yeah,
Wow.
on that show. And then he started his show in 1951 on KGO, and then we danced at the company party, and we've been dancing ever since.
There you go. And
I
let me-
like that story. But I was a junk food junkie. I ate bear claws and chocolate donuts. The only thing good about the donut is the hole in the middle. And
Jack's nodding off here.
but anyway, he changed my whole life. I would have been a dried up old prune today if I hadn't met him.
Yes, and Elaine, you know, those push-ups are real impressive, and even more so, you gotta just answer this. Were you sitting on his back when he was doing those push-ups?
No, but we climbed the ledge trail one day in the Yosemite National Park. It's closed now because it's so dangerous. 1 mile straight up, and he put me on his back because I got so pooped out. But he's something else. Jack is great. He's a great disciplinarian with himself, and he has great endurance.
Right. I think, Jack, your accomplishments are so many. The one that stands out, and I've talked about it many times, and you were a young man at 60 when I know you've done this a few times, when you swam from Alcatraz Island to Fisherman's Wharf.
But the big thing I did on my 70th birthday,
That's right.
I towed 70 boats
Unbelievable.
with 70 people in them with my hands and feet tied 1.5 miles in Long Beach, California. Then on my next birthday, I'm going to tow my wife across the bathtub.
That's right. You know what?
Don't lose your sense of humor. Have fun.
For the people that out there,
man.
you're going to be 93 September the 26th. Get your birthday cards out there early, folks. Send them to
I've
Jack
been
La Lanne.
practicing for 93 years. Now I'm going to have some fun.
We have a website. It's www.jacklalaine.com.
Mhm.
And if you want to know more about Jack, they can look in there and just peek in there and see lots of stuff. Did you say you found a lot of stuff on our website, and pictures of him and then when he's really buff and his muscles and all that.
He's still buffed. You know what? When you go to the website, and I went to your BFit Enterprise, I believe, too, that website.
Yeah.
That is, it's so. I mean, it's so addicting, and I'm one of these men that don't believe that. I mean, I don't have a problem with being honest. I almost feel like crying. It's that much. It's that much of a pleasure.
What kind of exercise do you do?
I do aerobics, I jump rope, I do push-ups like you do.
You know what you should do?
Yes. Tell me.
Every 30 days, you should change your program.
Yeah. Well, that's important. Yeah.
Write
that's
it
important.
down what you do.
Yep. That's important.
And then change it. See, your muscles know nothing. Your brain, you get bored. And exercise is something you have to do the rest of your life.
That's right.
It's not something you're going to do for a month or 2 months. People get that through their head, you know. This is the most important thing in your life. If you can't afford to spend 15, 20 minutes or half an hour 3 or 4 times a week taking care of the most prized possession you have, your body, you've got to be sick.
I agree. I
You
agree.
just sit around in the big butts and drinks and at a bar, you know, for hours and hours, and you get them to exercise. Oh, I don't have the time.
And you said you don't really like exercising, right? And you have to push yourself, and you've had to push yourself too,
I
correct?
hate to exercise.
Jack, you know what? When I read that,
I think you leave a hot bed, leave a hot woman, go into a cold gym early in the morning. That takes discipline. And I hate it.
Well, Jack,
But I like the results.
Jack, you know, you say you hate exercise. I have to tell you this. Now, that's where I'm a little different. I love exercise. I just love it. I mean, I love it. I feed
I
off
love
of
the
it.
results.
Yeah, I like feeling good, man, you know?
Both of you guys have talked a lot about
That's what I mean, but there's a price to pay. You got to work
yes,
at
yeah.
it.
Oh, yes. And see, people, Jack, for years, and this is one thing I've always talked about, people for years always invest in wealth and those kind of things. And I tell people you got to pay yourself first, physically speaking.
You know what you got to do? You got to put something in your health account.
That's right. That's what I talk about in my book.
These people that have a big bank account, but their health account, they're broke.
That's right.
What good you get when you be 40, 50, 60 years old? You got arthritis and rheumatism
Oh, yeah.
and all your enthusiasm, your energy goes. What's the good of living? How can you enjoy your money?
That's right.
Well,
That's right.
you
You got to
started
keep a balance there.
when you started these programs, though. People weren't necessarily listening. Exercise was not sort of the in thing to do. Are they listening more today? Do people more conscious because we're inundated so much with these messages of
The trouble is people are they're more informed now, but there are more fat people now there's ever been in our history.
Mhm.
Oh, yes. And, Jack, you know, one of the things I state, too, is...
You look at these people go down the street and then you say, my golly, how do I let that happen? They exceed the feed limit.
Yep.
Ron, you were saying one of the things you do what?
Well, what I was going to say, Elaine, is this. One of the things I tell people is this. A lot of people that don't exercise, then all of a sudden they end up in the hospital because they have some serious health problems. Then they will sit in the hospital room and they will pray to God all of a sudden. And what I tell people is, I believe that God will not answer prayer in any area of a person's life that just requires them to get their butt off the couch.
You know what it is? God helps
Those
them.
who help.
That's
God
right.
helps them that help themselves.
They got to get off the couch.
God gives you the power to do these things, but does he put the food in your mouth? Does he exercise for you? You have to do it.
That's right. And that,
Everything you do in your life, anything happens to Jack La Lanne, good or bad, I made it happen.
that's right.
You know, we were talking about the muscles being challenged, but in other words, your muscles when you exercise, if you don't change your program, your muscles get bored too. Not only do you get bored, but your muscles get bored, and they need to be challenged,
And they
right,
don't
Jack?
improve anymore.
They don't improve because your muscles have to be challenged too.
What about you guys are always been into the juicing as well. I mean,
Are you
Yeah.
kidding?
that's
I've been juicing since I've been 15.
and you hear the word juicing today, and you think of something else, and it's all involving
You know
steroids.
that juicer? You seen my Jack La Lanne juicer?
I have many
It's
times,
the
sir.
most successful thing there's ever been in the history of television. We're selling millions.
Oh yeah, they're in all the department stores now, and a lot of people, they don't want to write in, but they're in the department
See,
stores.
again,
They
I
can take a
think-
peek at them there.
Right? And again, I want to say, I've never thought about making money. I think about helping people.
There you
If
go.
I can get the person to have that juicer, I've helped people.
That's right. That's
You
right.
know, the doctors want you to have 5 or 6 raw vegetables every day, right? 3 or 4 pieces of fresh fruit. They want you to have whole grains, brown rice, whole wheat. This is coming from the medical profession.
That's right.
And the medical profession is advocating build muscle. Even if you're 90 years old, they have groups, 15 different groups of people in their 80s and 90s, and they put them on a weight training program, and they double their strength, double their endurance, 6 to 8 weeks. Think about that.
Yes, they do. I agree with you, and it's interesting too, because I know that you talk a lot about encouraging people to exercise as they get older. And Jack, it works, and I've said this probably at least 3 times in the last 6 weeks on our show here. I say Jack La Lanne lives what he preaches.
That's true. That's one thing that he does.
Billy Graham's for the hereafter. I'm for the here now.
How do you plan on spending your 100th birthday? That's what I want to know. And that's not that far away. I know you're
Try
thinking
to
about.
make my wife smile.
Okay. I love this man.
Well, you know what? I from talking with you have an incredible wife there, Jack, because I'm telling you, within just a couple, 45, 50 seconds talking to her, I talked to her Friday of last week, and then yesterday, I could not believe I felt like I was talking with somebody that I knew all my life. So,
Elaine,
Well, honey, everybody from Minneapolis is friendly, right?
if you got Elaine as a friend, you're a lucky boy. Her life's been helping people. She's a disciple.
Well, I find a lot of people when I find them from Minneapolis, I find they're laughers and they all like to have a good time, right?
Oh yeah, laughing is good. They say, what is it? I think this one guy was making a statement years ago about. He said that if you laugh for 15 minutes heartily, it's equivalent to 5 minutes moderate jogging. And I believe
right.
You know what I say? 10 seconds on the lips, lifetime on the hips.
There you go.
There you go.
Jack and Elaine, we can't thank you enough for your time this morning. It's been an honor and a thrill to
thank
talk to
you.
both you guys.
We're so flattered now. Can I say something to your audience?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Say, Jack.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, remember, anything in life is possible if you make it happen. And remember, the most important person on this earth is you.
And you can make it happen.
That's right. And it's been a pleasure talking.
Hey, listen, you guys are wonderful. You set a good example.
Keep up the good work.
Thank
If
you.
there were more people like you two, it'd be a better world.
Well, thank
God
you guys.
bless you.
And we'll be talking again too. Okay.
Okay.
Take care. Be blessed now.
Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye, boys and girls. God bless you all.